Hi students. Yesterday I gave one question. In the previous class I gave one question. I will give the answer and reason for that question. Here I gave three molecules. This is one molecule and B. This is another molecule I gave. And C. I gave one more molecule. This is the C. Okay, this is orthochlorotoluene. It is metachlorotoluene and this is parachlorotoluene. And in this three, which is having more dipole moment and what is the dipole moment order I gave. So the answer for this reason is, the answer for this question is C greater than B greater than A. So some of you wrote correctly and one or two persons wrote wrongly. It is not a big issue. So CBA is the answer. Why? C is more dipole moment containing molecule. Here if you see the dipole moment of the C molecule, if you see here carbon is sp2 hybridized. This carbon atom is sp2 hybridized. All the carbon atoms of benzene are sp2 hybridized. And this carbon is sp3 hybridized. This carbon is sp3. The benzene ring carbon atom is sp2. So which is more electronegative? The benzene ring carbon sp2 hybridized carbon is more electronegative. So the bond moment will be in this direction. So the bond moment appears in this direction. And here carbon chlorine, when we are taking, the chlorine atom is having more dipole moment than carbon. So this bond moment will be in this direction. So both are working in same direction. So the dipole moment will be multiplied. So C is having the highest. And second, suppose if A is taken, B is taken. Why B and A? Here, in this dipole moment working in this direction, and here if you see this direction, then this will be working like this. And here this chlorine atom dipole moment will work so in this direction. And so here what is the angle we will get? This is only 60 degrees. And here this acting in this direction, and here the chlorine atom bond moment works in this direction, and here the angle between these two is 120 degrees. Whenever the bond angle is less, we said yesterday mu is inversely proportional to theta. So the dipole moment is inversely proportional to the bond angle. Here bond angle is less. So after C, okay, after C, because it is having in same direction, so it is having highest value. After C, you can compare the bond angles. Here B is having less bond angle, so it has more dipole moment. Next C is having 120 more than this, so it has less dipole moment. So that is the answer and reason for that. Okay. Next, chemical properties of alkyl halides. Chemical properties. Chemical properties of alkyl halides. In the chemical properties of alkyl halides, first if you are taking an alkyl halide, this is RX. R means alkyl group, X means a halide. Generally, halide is more electronegative than alkyl carbon atom. And so here, if you see this alkyl and halide, which will get a partial negative charge, halide ion, and this is getting partial positive charge. And here this pair of electrons are moving towards this halide ion, more toward this halide ion, so it is getting partial negative charge and this is getting partial positive charge. So the alkyl halide alkyl group and halogen bond is polar covalent bond. It is a polar covalent bond. Because of this, alkyl halides are having reactivity or show chemical reactivity. and generally this alkyl group releases and alkyl group halogen releases and alkyl group is only present, and that alkyl group again adds to the another type of negative species, and so they shows mainly different types of reactions. In this first type of reactions are called as nucleophilic. The first type of reactions it is showing is nucleophilic substitution reactions. Nucleophilic substitution reactions. And the second type of reactions it is showing is elimination reactions. Elimination reactions. And the third type of reactions it is showing is a reaction with metals. Reaction with metals. So reactions with metals. And the fourth, the other reactions are miscellaneous reactions. Other reactions we can take into the fourth category. Whatever it may be, the remaining reactions, that is called as other reactions only. Okay, so mainly alkyl halides are showing nucleophilic substitution reactions. Second is elimination reactions. Third is reaction with metals. And fourth is other reactions. Okay, here first we will check about the nucleophilic substitution reactions. It is a very important nucleophilic substitution reactions, and the next is also a very important one is elimination reactions. Okay, nucleophilic substitution reactions. So the first type we are taking nucleophilic substitution reactions. Substitution reactions. Here the nucleophilic substitution reactions means what? So first tell me what is a chemical reaction? Generally in a chemical reaction what happens means a reactant or it is also called as a substrate. A reactant or a substrate is reacting with a reagent. A reactant or substrate reacts with a reagent and it is forming a reaction intermediate. Here it is called as a reaction intermediate. Reaction intermediate. Generally reaction intermediate or sometimes directly also, and finally it is converted into products. So the reaction is simply we can take in this manner. Reactants or substrates are reacting with reagent and first it is converting into a reaction intermediate. We can simply call it as RI, reaction intermediate, and finally they are converted into products. Products and sometimes byproducts are also formed. Okay, products and byproducts are formed. This is a basic reaction of a reaction. Any chemical reaction, these are the parts present. And in this reactant or substrate means here what? Here alkyl halide is considered as a reactant or a substrate. And in this alkyl halide, it is reacting with a reagent. What are the reagents? In the first year GOC, we studied the types of reagents. Generally, the reagents, if you are taken, there is electrophile and there is a nucleophile mainly, and there is a free radical also. Here, free radical also present means it is containing a single electron species or unpaired electron species. They are called as free radicals. So electrophile, nucleophile and free radical are considered as reagents. Okay. Now their electrophile or nucleophile or free radical attacks on the substrate or the reactant and then that is converting into a reaction intermediate first. Here the reaction intermediate may be carbocation. Here it is a general reaction intermediates may be carbocations. We studied in the first year about this also, carbocation, and the reaction intermediate may be carbanion, or it may be free radical. Sometimes the reaction intermediate may be free radical or it may be a transition state. Generally transition state is also considered as a reaction intermediate. So, reaction intermediates may be one carbocation or carbanion or third free radical, and the fourth one is a transition state. And these can be converted into products. And in this process, sometimes we may take catalyst. Here on the arrow, we are writing a catalyst. Generally, we are taking a catalyst or we are using a solvent, means the reaction medium. So it will be conducted in a solvent. So here catalyst may be different types of catalyst we use. We will discuss separately for a particular reaction. And solvents means if you are taking, I will give the solvents also. Those are also important in this nucleophilic substitution reactions. Solvents are mainly two types of solvents. Solvents are mainly two types. In this first type is called as non-polar solvents. Non-polar solvents. Non-polar solvents, and the second type is called as polar solvents. So non-polar solvents and polar solvents. Non-polar solvents means generally which are not having any polarity. Not having any polarity means, for example, we are taking benzene C6H6. Is there any polarity between carbon-carbon? No, because there is no electronegative difference, so there is no bond polarity, so they are non-polar solvents. Even CCl4 if you are taking, cyclohexane, these type of compounds are called as non-polar solvents. Generally, if there is a carbon cyclic chain or homocarbon atom chain only one carbon atom chain is containing, or there is no electronegativity difference, if there is a dipole moment 0, generally they are having non-polarity. They are non-polar solvents. Okay, and next polar solvents. Okay, this is non-polar solvents. Second, polar solvents. In this polar solvents means which have polarity, positive, negative charge formation occurs. And in this polar solvents, again there is two types. Polar solvents are two types. In this one is called as PPS. What is a PPS? Yes, this is called as polar protic solvents. Polar protic solvents. And second one is PAS, polar aprotic solvents. They have polarity, but they are called as aprotic solvents. Here they have polarity and protic solvents. Here protic solvent means what? Which can release H plus ions. So when they are releasing H plus ions, they are called as protic solvents, proton generating solvents. They can produce protons. And polar aprotic solvents, which doesn't release. So here H plus ion not released or not ionized. So if H plus ion is not released from it, then they are called as a polar aprotic solvents. Okay, so polar protic solvent, polar aprotic solvent. Generally, which one will act as a polar protic solvent? I am arranging this. Polar protic solvent means simply you can remember easily when the hydrogen is added to more electronegative oxygen atom. Generally, example for the polar protic solvents I am giving H2O. Here you can see easily hydrogen is attached to which? Yes, this is attached to more electronegative oxygen atom. CH3OH. Here oxygen, hydrogen. Please remember here one proton is only protic, means generate. H plus ion is released one H plus ion only, not 4 H plus ions. Why? Because these three hydrogens are connected to carbon, not to the oxygen. Okay, so this CH3OH or C2H5OH or CH3COOH or HCOOH formic acid, acetic acid, ethyl alcohol, methyl alcohol, CF3COOH. These are called as polar protic solvents. They release H plus ion. They release H plus ions, so they are called as polar protic solvents. And H plus not released from the solvent, and such type are called as polar aprotic solvents. They have bond polarity, but they doesn't release H plus ions. Here for this, the best and simple example is acetone. Acetone is a solvent, but it is not releasing H plus ions. Why? Because is acetone structure, CH3. The acetone structure is CH3, and here it is a C double bond O and CH3. Where is the hydrogen? Is it bonded to more electronegative oxygen atom? No. So here the hydrogen is not released as H plus ion easily. So this is called as a polar aprotic solvent. And similarly, in the place of acetone, carbon, if you are taking sulfur, okay, this is called as acetone simply. Okay, I will give, I'm writing here, please see. Here, if you are taking CH3 and sulfur double bond O and CH3, then here this is called as a dimethyl sulfatone. No. This is called as dimethyl sulfoxide. DMSO. The short form is DMSO. What is DMSO means? Dimethyl sulfoxide. Dimethyl sulfoxide. This is called as acetone. Dimethyl ketone or dimethyl acetone only, or it is dimethyl sulfoxide. And there are so many such type. Even here also, hydrogens are not connected to more electronegative oxygen. And next, suppose I am taking C double bond O, N, CH3 and CH3. Here H. Here C, first of all, I will give, what is this molecule name? It is called as a CHO, HCO, and H2 means formamide. It is normally called as formamide. If two hydrogen atoms are replaced by two methyl groups, if two hydrogen atoms are replaced by two methyl groups, then this is called as DMF. It is called as DMF. That is called as dimethyl. Two methyl groups are there. And dimethyl formamide. It is a derivative of formamide, and so it is dimethyl formamide. And next, another example for this. Suppose if you are taking, again I am taking another example. Here CH3, CO, N, CH3, CH3. If it is H, it is formamide. If it is CH3, H formamide, CH3CO, CH3CO, NH2 is called as acetamide, and here this is called as DMA. What is DMA means? Dimethyl acetamide. So two methyl groups are there, so it is dimethyl acetamide. Dimethyl formamide, dimethyl acetamide. In all these cases, if you observe, the H plus or hydrogen is not released, proton is not released from this because it is not connected or not bonded with the more electronegative oxygen. So you can simply identify which is a proton releasing solvent or which doesn't release proton. So a proton releasing solvent means simply if it is having a hydrogen which is bonded with oxygen, simply you can say more electronegative atom like oxygen, then they are called as polar protic solvents. And polar aprotic solvent means acetone, dimethyl sulfoxide, dimethyl formamide, dimethyl acetamide. Okay, so these are called as polar aprotic solvents. So these solvents are also used in nucleophilic substitution reactions mainly, and some other reactions also we can use. So we need these type of words or terminology for proceeding for nucleophilic substitution reactions.